him, it was almost like I resented him. I said, man, if he would have known more, or if he could have done more, I would have been better. And then you know what happened? I became a coach. And I realized, man, this guy is a genius. Because he got more out of me with what he had than any coach had ever done with me before. And he showed me things about how to connect, and how to engage, and how to show interest, how to be into something, not just in it. So that'll be my challenge for you guys today. Are you in floorball? Are you in coaching? Or are you into it, man? Because I'll say this, if you're not into it, then go find what you are into and go do that. Because these kids are counting on it. You know, because again, without that guy, I don't get to where I got to. And it got worse as I went up there, not better. So, let's talk about things. Expectation. Do you know at the World Championships this year in track and field, there were 4 Finns in the top 10? But it was a horrible year because no one won the gold or silver or bronze for Finland. It's like a letdown. Can you believe that? And I bet you guys can, right? And hockey, does that shock you? Like, look, those are some kind of like famous guys at the highest level in hockey. That's not a shocker, right? It's expected. It's like, yeah, man, it's Finland. Of course we're going to have guys, their team captains carrying the Stanley Cup. It's Finland. But then I say, well, how about this? Do you guys expect to have a lot of Finns in American baseball? Or do you think there's an expectation that at the next World Cup in Brazil, Finland thinks they're going to win?
No.
Man, I just heard you guys just lost to a country I never even heard of. What's that? Moldova. What is it? What even is that? I thought it was a watch. Movado? What? And then how about this? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Russia didn't have a girl in the top 20. Now they have 10. You know what did they do? They changed their expectation. See the first picture right there? That's the Dominican Republic. It's a country way smaller and has no money. 1 in 5 play in the major leagues in baseball. And in Brazil, they live in their best players come from the ghettos, which you'll see right here. This is how the sports start in those countries, because I've been there. That's the Dominican Republic. See this? See this? This is interesting. That's a piece of garbage. That's a stick he broke off a tree, and that's his uniform. I know we got more than that. Look at these guys. This is called the slums. One, they don't have clothes. And see this kid looking at the ball, and he's smiling? It's because it's the first ball he ever saw in his whole life. They use pieces of paper and garbage to make their soccer balls. But they become the best in the world. And that's Anna Kournikova, you know, on the same court that produced 20 top 10 girls, that they say that facility should be bulldozed. It's such a dump. But what did they change? What's different about these countries? Their expectation. Somebody, some coach started to preach, and then more coaches started to preach until everybody started to believe that things are possible. And if I had to say, if I had to put my finger on the thing that's missing most from this country, it's not the science, man. You got more science than anybody. Finland produces science prodigious amounts. It's not resources, because look at this facility. This facility's pretty nuts. Was that a bowling alley I just saw down there? Mm-hmm. Inside? It's crazy. We don't have that. So I don't think we're missing the money. And I've heard it's cold. Yeah, I know it's cold. It's not cold in here. So there's no more excuses. What it comes down to is what's missing is the culture, the mentality. And it starts with you guys. Today. So what does that mean? I love this slide. Look. See, this bird poops on these birds. They poop on these birds. Until the bottom birds are just covered in crap. But here's what I want to remind you. And check it out. In some cases, you're this bird. With the kids you're working with. So look, you crap down on their parents. Oh, their kids can't win. They crap down on their kids. And then all of a sudden, the kids, do you think your kids expect to win gold medals or to be the best in the world at whatever sport you're teaching them right now? Because if they don't, you need to change what you're telling them. See, people say, oh, well, you're from America. You can't understand. One, I've been coming to Finland for 4 years, and I got a lot of Finnish friends. But more important than that, nobody ever told me when I was growing up in America, hey, you have 350 million kids, and there's a lot of money here, so you're going to be great. Nobody told me that. What they said was, you can be anything you want to be if you work hard enough and you put your mind to it. See, it's not about the size of the country. You got 5.5 million people. That's a lot of people. And you have a history where you guys have won 300 plus Summer Olympic medals and 150 plus Winter Olympic medals. There's a tradition there. And of the 300 at Summer, Paavo Nurmi didn't win all of them. Because that's the other thing. Oh, well, that was a while ago. No. So, guys, coaches that believe they have athletes that succeed will have athletes that believe they can succeed. Do you get that? Like, if you don't believe it, how are they going to believe it? It's not going to happen by magic. And here's another important piece. You ready? You probably coach exactly like your coach coached. It's time to break the cycle. Right? See, why am I the coach I am today? Because I had that one coach early, and then I had a lot of bad coaches. Now I want to be all the things they're not. So it's time to be the things they're not. Don't repeat the cycle. Oh, my coach had no energy, my coach had no passion, my coach didn't like me, and then you go out and do the same thing. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of coaches and almost 1,000 athletes in this country. When I ask the kids if they like their coaches, do you know what they say? They say the same thing every time. They're like, no, I don't like my coach. I got injured, I got hurt, I don't like that guy at all. Well, then why are you gonna, he's not going to play for you. And it starts with changing how you think. So, you might be saying right now, oh, I can't do that. I'm finished. Guys, didn't you hear? I'm finished. I can't have emotion. I can't have intensity and intimacy. That's wrong. You are what you think you are. If today you woke up and said, I think I am the greatest coach in the world, and every time you saw yourself in the mirror, you said, I am the greatest coach, and I'm going to inspire these kids, and I'm going to change their life, and you said it over and over and over, it would start happening. Because a very important thing here, the how to do it comes to the person that believes he can do it. So watch, with a show of hands, how many people in this room believe that they can have high energy for their sessions and inspire their kids and just have those kids be on fire? Who thinks they can do that? Now watch. Now here's what I always say. Now if you're, because usually when somebody really believes something, they might raise their hand like this. Like if you were in school and I said, I'm giving $1 million out to the person that has this answer, and you knew the answer, how would you raise your hand? You'd be like, whoa, pick me! But when you raise it like this, because you look around and everybody else kind of is raising it like that. So here's what I want everybody to understand. If I said, in the next hour, I need you to show high energy and high emotion and be on fire, or we kill you. How about now? Would you guys be on fire? You guys would be going nuts. You'd be like, let me tell you about floorball, man. Floorball's the greatest sport in the world. Kid, grab me that stick before and you would just be going nuts. But belief, as I'm learning more and more, is the essential ingredient in success. And the most successful people believe the strongest. But the most powerful thing that I can tell you on this slide is, if you don't believe, you will get exactly what you expect. Keep not believing and see how that works for you. I guarantee it's not going to produce championships, or more medals, or something different. So I say this to every group I ever work with. How many people would like to make more money? Here. Should be every hand, right? How many people would like to have nicer things? Nicer house, nicer car? I mean, it's okay to say that. See, that's crazy. Nobody says that. Everyone's like, no, just take what you can. It's crazy. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's the secret of life. If you want to have more, you have to become more. You want to have more championships, you got to change as a coach. You want to have more money, you got to become more valuable. If you keep doing what you did, you just keep getting what you got. So if this place isn't producing world champs in every sport right now, we need to change. We understand it for our athletes, right? If they're not fast enough, we need to get them faster. If they're not strong enough, we need to get them stronger. What about the coaches? How's your attention to tonality? How many books have you read on body language? How many books have you read on psychology for athletics and coaching? If the answer is none, you need to close the computer, get off Facebook, and start reading. Because it's time. So, here's the big breakthrough. You ready? Science will not save you. Look at that kid. He's got his hand up. He's drinking some kind of crazy potion. I love his shirt. It says, science. It works, bitches. And see, guys, we got enough science. The world doesn't need another exercise or another piece of exercise equipment. It needs better coaching. So, you might say, okay, but how about this? Now look, Imagine if you take your session, right? You sit your kids down and you just break them down and you say what they want and they're just crying every session. That's not going to work either. You know, it's not all emotion, so I don't want to scare you guys because, hey, me and Eric were talking about this. You can't change this in an hour speech. See, I'm the guy that's going to get you started. Now you got to follow it up. So I don't expect anybody to be high emotion, high energy, and be able to cry on cue and fire people up out of their minds. But I do believe you should start working on it. So, but all emotion by itself won't work either. You got to have both. See, I didn't say science isn't important. I said that by itself won't save you. Science is important. So is emotion. So, here's an interesting thing. I was hanging out with some of my Finnish friends in the States, and we were discussing this, and he said, you know what it's like? You know what it's like? I get it now. I get it. He was like, you know, because you'll see, when you guys are done today, you're going to have a big smile on your face. Whenever I'm around Finns long enough, they're going to smile more than when we started. And he said, I get it. It's like jazz. Coaching is like jazz. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, jazz is the most difficult music to play. But at first, you've got to learn the science of your instrument. You have to learn the keys and the science, and you've got to learn the notes and how to read everything and be able to perfect that. But then, to be good at jazz, you got to leave all that behind and you got to go with emotion. You got to know when to come in, when to come out, when to flow, when to move. If you've ever heard a good jazz record, if anybody's ever listened to Miles Davis, the CD is 2 hours long, but it's only one song. And you say, man, they must have practiced that forever. They're like, no, that was one take, one time. They just coming in, coming out, they know what they're doing. That's jazz. Now see guys, coaching, you got to have that science, you got to have that emotion, and you got to blend it and blend it and blend it until, man, those kids don't know what just happened. But they are fired up, they are believers, and they are ready to win. And that's what we want to make. So you might say, here's a great word, I get it all the time. You guys know the word impossible. Because every seminar I go to, I'll get somebody to come up and they'll go, nope, it's impossible. It's impossible. And guys, if I would have told you 100 years ago the company that made rubber that went around a cable and then made rubber boots, if I was going to tell you that that company was going to be a world technological powerhouse, would you believe that was possible?
No.
No, you would say no way. And hopefully you guys know the history of Nokia. It's like, that's their history. Like rubber boot company, now technological powerhouse. I don't know how that happened, but it's possible. So if you're telling me you guys can't have more emotion, or we can't have more winners here, or we can't change the culture, you're crazy. Because if you can do that, and you can win all the medals you've won, there's not anything you can't do if you don't believe in it. But it starts with you. So look, Finland has endless potential.